Welcome to our video series on occupational hygiene in agriculture. Perhaps more than any other industry, those working in agriculture are exposed to several environmental hygiene hazards that are potentially harmful to their well-being. It's important for you to ensure the health and safety of yourself and your employees or co-workers as they move around, in, or near the workplace. Today we will be discussing how noise can be a hazard on your farm and what you can do to help keep everyone safe. Noise is one of the most common hazards found in any workplace, including farms. Although it can be at times, a farmyard is not always a quiet and tranquil place. Excessive noise is a concern because it can lead to interrupted concentration, which can lead to unsafe working decisions, not being able to hear important safety sounds like sirens, people calling for help, or warning sounds, tinnitus or short-term hearing loss, and permanent hearing loss. There are several sources of noise farmers are exposed to on a regular basis. These can include farm machinery, such as tractors and combines, or maintenance tools, such as grinders and compressors. Sometimes the source can even be livestock. Sound is measured in decibels. A quiet room, for example, is 40 decibels, and a basic conversation is 55 decibels. 85 decibels or higher over a certain time frame is considered dangerous. Regulations require workers who are exposed to noise above this level be protected. Even short bursts of sound at certain decibel levels can cause harm. For example, a tractor with a closed cab and production conveyors can expose operators to a noise level around 85 to 95 decibels. Power tools in your shop can reach 100 decibels. Grain dryers and chainsaws can reach 110 decibels or higher. And even pig squeals can reach up to 100 to 110 decibels. Exposure to these levels of noise for a prolonged period can be dangerous. So, how do you know if you're being affected by noise exposure? Some early warning signs include ringing in the ears, unable to understand basic conversations, turning up the volume on a radio or television, failing to hear basic workplace sounds like ringing phones and alarms. These are early warning signs that tell us we may be having an issue with our hearing. We do not want to wait till this happens before we act. So, how do you know if there's too much noise? Typically, if you have to raise your voice to talk to someone an arm's length away, then the noise may be too loud. The best way to see if there's an unhealthy level of noise exposure is to measure the sound levels. You can do this yourself, however, it's recommended that you bring in a professional to take noise readings, assess the hearing risks, and recommend solutions. One way to help those working in noisy environments is to reduce noise at the source. This may include purchasing quieter machinery and equipment. Keep your machinery in good working condition. If possible, run machinery at lower RPM. Another strategy is to reduce the time workers are exposed to noise. This can be done by limiting the time workers are at each area, modifying the work area so it is isolated with either distance or insulation, scheduling work around times when less workers are present. Rotating people from noisy to quieter jobs will reduce the amount of time they are exposed. Sometimes it will be impossible to move people away from unwanted noise, and you will need to make sure that you have hearing protection and that you're using it properly. There are 3 types of hearing protection normally used. Foam earplugs are a spongy type material in which you compress the material and insert it into the ear and allow it to expand for a good fit. They are typically a one-time use only. Workers can also use a pre-molded plug style made of a soft material to fit in the ear. They are designed for reuse and must be washed after each use. One of the best forms of hearing protection is earmuffs. Earmuffs use an adjustable headband with soft cups and cushions that go over the ear. These types of hearing protection are the more popular types as they are more comfortable to wear over a long period of time. What type of hearing protection you will need to use will depend on the type of work and the noise levels you will be exposed to. The best type of hearing protection is the type you will wear. You may need to try different types to find the one right for you. Regardless of what type of hearing protection you use, always follow the manufacturer's instructions when using it. Remember, the goal of hearing protection is to bring down the noise to a safe working level and not eliminate all sounds. People need to hear sounds that are important in the workplace. If you're working in a tractor with a closed cab that has 110 decibels of noise, you should select hearing protection that brings the noise level down to 80 decibels or lower. This would allow you to be safe while still being able to hear important safety instructions or alarms. Always make sure that hearing protection is available and ready to use, as your job duties and location may change throughout the day. Having your hearing protection with you will always make it easier for you to put it on. It is also a good idea to keep extra hearing protection available in areas that are typically noisy. Remember, once your hearing is lost, it cannot be replaced.